In this video, we're going to look at integers or positive and negative numbers. What are integers and why do we use them? Actually, if you notice, we use integers in our day-to-day life. Like say for thermometer, you know that the temperature can be either above zero or sub-zero. Or similarly, when we talk about heights and depths, we say above sea level or below sea level. We also use integers in a sport called golf, where positive and negative numbers are used to represent the scores. Actually, in golf, the more the negative a score is, the better the score. Let's take the help of a number line to understand integers more in detail. In this number line, as you can see, we have 0 in the middle, and to the right of it are all positive integers, and to the left of it we have negative integers. Except 0, every integer to the right will have an opposite on the left. But we know that this number line goes on infinitely on either side. So here we can add 6, 7, 8, and it goes on and on. And similarly, we can add negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, and so on. Another interesting to note is that every integer on the right will have an opposite of it on the left. As you can see, the opposite of 1 is negative 1. Similarly, the opposite of negative 4 is a positive 4. Now, to understand this, why 4 is opposite of negative 4, if we look at the position of 4, it is 4 units away from 0 on the right. Similarly, negative 4 is 4 units away from 0 on the left. Therefore, we say that negative 4 is opposite of 4, or vice versa, that 4 is opposite of negative 4. Alright, can you tell me what's the opposite of negative 5? Yes, if you said 5, that's the correct answer. And what about the opposite of negative 103? That's right, the opposite of negative 103 will be positive 103. What about 0? Is 0 a positive integer, or is 0 a negative integer? Or is 0 both a positive as well as negative integer? 0 is a non-negative and non-positive integer. Now, the modulus, or even we know it as the mod, is basically the absolute value of the integer, whether it be a negative integer or whether be it a positive integer. So, the absolute value of negative 5 is 5 and the absolute value of 8 is 8. Can you tell me what is the absolute value of negative 25? Yes, that's right. The absolute value of a negative 25 is 25. Let us look at this example of an absolute value where we have, say, a negative sign outside the absolute value and say a negative integer, negative 3 inside it. What do you think the answer of this problem be? Wherein we have a negative 3 inside the absolute value symbol, but we also have a negative sign outside it. As we saw in the previous examples, we know that the absolute value of any integer, be it negative or a positive, will always be the positive value. So we know that the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. However, here in this problem, we have a negative sign outside the absolute value, and therefore this sign will remain as it is. So the answer to this problem, wherein we have a negative and then absolute value of a negative 3, is negative 3. Integers are also used to represent the position of objects at different heights or depths. As we see, the aeroplane is flying at an altitude of 80 meters, and if you were to represent the position of the aeroplane with an integer, we would say it is positive 80. Similarly, if you were to represent the position of this fish, which is moving at a depth of 100 meters below sea level, we would say it is negative 100. Alright, can you identify the integer that would be used to represent the position of the long-nosed shark here? Now, if you said minus 60, then that's right, as we know that the shark fish is moving at 60 meters below sea level. Now, that's it from me on the basics of integers. Thank you for watching.